Hello and welcome to another very interesting episode of My Lover and I. My name is Patience Dogo and I am your delectable host for today's episode. Now on this channel we talk about everything love, marriage and relationships. And we have discussed very salient issues in previous episodes. I'd encourage you to please go back to our previous episodes and watch them. Take on the assignments. It's going to do you a whole lot of good if you're intending to say yes I do to that very special person that you love. Now today, what are we talking about? How do you identify a potentially abusive partner? Now the rate of abuse has increased. It is increasing daily. And how do you find out and how do you get to know if this person you're going to spend the rest of your life with is safe with you? Now remember that you're going to be spending the rest of your life with this one person, and it's important to know if the decision you're about to take or the decision you're about to make is going to do you a whole lot of good. So how do you identify someone who may be potentially abusive in the future? Now I'm going to list a few things today. By the time I'm done listing it, you would have to make a choice, make a decision whether or not that decision to go ahead with the marriage is good for you or not. Now, what's the first thing? If you're in a relationship and you find out that the person you're in a relationship with is addicted to harmful substances, alcohol, now that is something you should not take lightly at all. Now, you know that people who take these things and are addicted to them, by the time they take them and they are high, it has a way of interfering with their thought process. So how do you intend to stay married to someone who is addicted to substances all the time, is paranoid all the time, behaving in certain ways that he or she wouldn't have if he or she wasn't involved with these harmful substances? That is something that you should not take lightly at all. You need to find out how far gone is this person. And there are some people who can be very witty, they take these things and they do it secretively. So you have to be watchful, and find out if the person is involved in taking alcohol or harmful substances. These things have a way of interfering in the behavioral pattern of these people. And it's not going to be helpful and healthy for your relationship in the future. So my advice for you is that you watch out and find out if this person is addicted to harmful substances or not. Now, secondly, what should you be looking out for? Someone who may be potentially abusive in the future. Someone who is constantly name-calling you, speaking very harsh words to you, derogatory comments all the time. Now, not everyone goes through physical abuse. Some people go through emotional and verbal abuse. Now, as an individual, your emotions need to be stable at every point in time to make very, very good decisions that are helpful for your life. Now, if you are with a partner that is constantly name-calling you, saying abusive words to you, saying things that will make you sad all the time, talking down on you, I don't think that's someone you should spend the rest of your life with. Now, you need someone who would encourage you, speak loving words to you. Now, words are like water. When water comes on dying plants, they have a way of just sprouting out again and being alive and buoyant. That's what words do to you. So if you are with someone who is constantly insulting you, abusing you, saying insultive words to you, that isn't someone you should spend the rest of your life with. That person may be a potentially abusive partner. So you should take that and take note. Now, what's the third thing you should be looking out for? You should be looking out for someone who is overprotective and possessive. Now, some people feel that if your partner is overprotective and possessive of you, that person really loves you. But I beg to differ. It's not that in all cases. Now, if someone is over-possessive, the person tends to monitor your calls, doesn't trust you, monitors your, tracks your movements. When you tell the person I'm going to A, he doesn't believe you or she doesn't believe you. The person is just setting up things to monitor you. I don't think that's someone you should be spending the rest of your life with. There should be a level of trust for two people who are saying I do to each other, intending to spend the rest of their lives together. So if someone is around you and is protecting you from family, from friends, especially the opposite gender. Now, I always tell people that before you began a romantic relationship, you had previous relationships in your single life. You had friends, you had family. So if someone is coming into your life, they should accept you and your family and friends. Now, someone could actually be helping you and trying to keep you away from bad friends and relationships. That's okay and understandable. But when the person is overly overprotective and possessive of you, you can't go to this place, you can't talk to this person, the person gets angry when he or she sees you with the opposite gender, that is something you should not take lightly at all. The person may be a potentially abusive partner, and when you get married, you don't have freedom of movement, you don't have freedom of speech. That's, to me, bondage, if you may, for a lack of a better word. But you should be looking out for these things I have mentioned here today. Now, what have we talked about today? We are looking at someone who may be potentially abusive in the future. And you should please go back to this video, watch it again, and then look at your relationship now. If any of these things are present, then you should make a decision, a wise decision that will be helpful for your future and your life. Now, take on these assignments and do something very important with it. It's going to matter if you're intending to say, yes, I do. Now, until we come your way again next week with another very interesting episode, have a pleasant day.